When humanity first stepped onto the galactic stage, we were small, tiny sparks in the void. The great civilizations didn't laugh at us. They didn't even notice. The Talvathi ruled 7 spiral arms and measured power in centuries of silence. The Zantari moved planets the way we once pushed pebbles. The Veda, with their crystalline minds, could erase memories from light years away. These were civilizations ancient enough to forget their own beginnings. And we were still counting stars like children naming clouds. When the Terran embassy opened on Citadel Caer, the central diplomatic hub of the galactic core, the welcome was polite, measured, dismissive. The first ambassador, Run Ayala, recorded the encounter in her logs. They looked at me like a novelty. Not a threat, not a partner. Just a flicker, here then gone. But sparks remember how to burn. They gave us a sector. One sector. Uninhabited, barren, barely on the trade lanes. A gesture meant to satisfy without consequence. A spark tossed into an ocean. They didn't account for what fire truly is. We didn't conquer. We didn't threaten. We built. First outposts, then orbital farms, then schools, then community beacons tuned to the languages of dozens of species. We invited anyone, refugees, outcasts, wanderers, the forgotten. Humans listened. We didn't offer answers. We offered ears. A place to belong. And belonging is flammable. The first flame took root on Thessa, 9, a mining moon abandoned by the Zantari after the veins ran dry. Humans arrived not for but for the people left behind. Broken, sick, ignored. We built hospitals. We taught them how to grow food beneath frozen soil. And when the miners sang their old songs, humans sang with them. The second spark ignited on Zelvera, where the Talvathi had outlawed creative expression. A human named Juno carved a sculpture in open space, a solar flare suspended by magnetic fields, frozen mid-roar. It defied every law. It stirred every soul. They tried to erase it, but by then others had copied it, modified it, spread it. What began as a single piece became a movement. Art returned to the silent worlds. And with art came memory, identity, revolution. The Veda saw it first. Not the danger, but the pattern. They sent an emissary. Not with threats, only a question. What do you want? Our answer was simple, a future. They didn't understand. Not yet, because the wildfire hadn't spread. Not until Eridani fall. A frontier world, disputed between 3 powers. A brutal place. Ice storms. Acid rains. No natural life. No hope. All 3 powers fought over it like dogs gnawing bone, until the humans arrived. They didn't bring weapons. They brought terraforming kits. Heaters. Reclaimers. A library. And one stubborn botanist named Cole Emery who said, "If I can get one tree to grow, the rest will follow." He died 2 years in. But the trees didn't. Eridani became a forest. Not of conquest, but of defiance. A place no empire wanted, transformed into something they couldn't buy. It became a symbol, not of earth, but of choice. And choice spreads like fire. Soon, colonies that had never heard Earth's name were singing songs seeded by human visitors. Children on distant moons drew suns with human crayons. Outposts forgotten by old powers pulsed with new light, carried by vessels wearing no flags. They began calling us something new. Not sparks, but embers. Because even when you stamp out a spark, embers remain, waiting. The turning point came during the Vraxan siege. A brutal campaign, one of the last Empire wars. The Vraxan fleet surrounded a world called Kirit 3. No resources. No strategic value. Only people. Thousands of species living together, governed by nothing but community. Built by humans, the Vraxan demanded surrender. They got silence, then laughter, then music. Then the humans, engineers, teachers, farmers walked out unarmed. And they stood there. No shields. No weapons. Only conviction. And fire. The Vraxan opened fire. The fleet's flagship was vaporized from within 5 seconds later. Not by military force. By dozens of sabotage programs, planted over decades, not for destruction but for defense. Not weapons, just ideas. Open source code. Shared knowledge. Distributed trust. The Vraxan fleet turned. Not from fear, but from shame. They joined the colony. That's when the galaxy understood. We weren't sparks anymore. We were the wildfire. Not destruction, but change. The kind you can't undo. The kind that spreads in laughter, in shared meals, in lullabies sung across stations. Old powers tried to contain us. But their citizens had already invited us in. Not our armies. Our storytellers. Our nurses. Our builders. A joke shared between starfarers became a prophecy. If a human shows up, it's already too late, the future's moved in. We didn't win through power. We won through presence. One of the final logs from the Zontari archivist read, "We thought they were children. Ephemeral. Flickers against our grandeur. But they do not burn out. They burn on. Through others. Through kindness. Through courage. Until there is nothing left of the world we knew, except warmth." Now, the stars hum with voices they once silenced. And at the heart of it all is the blaze humanity began. Not with fire, but with care. We still build ships. Still plant trees. Still write songs in dead languages just to hear them live again. The galaxy is not ours. But it is forever changed. Because we were sparks. And we became the wildfire.